Hi, I'm Tina.
And I'm Jenna. And welcome to our cozy couch conversation for this month. We are talking about
We are talking about breathe into exercise, the joys of walking.
absolutely, it is full on spring, almost summer.
Yeah,
And
I love this time of year. I just love it.
yeah, I do too. I do too. It's like the promise of summer, and the days are getting longer, and maybe we're starting to feel like we want to be moving more.
We do. It gives me more energy when I see the sun for longer in the day. The
Yeah.
weather is more consistently nice.
Yeah.
And it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's
Yeah.
just perfect, like sweater jacket
Yeah.
season where I can be comfortable because I'm always cold.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay in May.
So essentially what we're saying is it's giving you less of an excuse to not get your movement in.
That's right.
Yeah.
So hopefully this new energy makes you want to move. And we are suggesting that walking can be a great way to do that.
Yes.
Walking is one of the best exercises. It's safe. It's cheap.
It's easy. It helps us to do our everyday things.
Yes.
And there is joy to walking.
There is a joy to walking. There are times I love walking, and I don't know if you're familiar with Thich Nhat Hanh. He's this Vietnamese monk, lives in exile, but he's got all these meditations, and he really reinforces this walking meditation, which is just go for a walk and be in the present moment. Just take things in.
Yeah.
Take in the smell of the air or the breeze, and just really enjoy that moment. And sometimes I go for a walk, especially if it's somewhere near nature. I just feel bliss. I absolutely love it, and
Yeah.
I think I want to do this for a living. I'm just gonna walk all day. I could walk around the planet.
Because it just, like, exactly like you said, it helps you to focus in on the moment, and that helps us to let go of some of that anxiety and stress and those big heavy emotions that we have, because you are present.
You're present and you're moving.
And you're moving.
Exercise does that too. Just
Yeah.
exercising and moving more gets rid of stress. It lowers our stress levels.
Yeah, so we get our heart rate up, we get our breathing rate up, we're hopefully optimizing the oxygen in our body.
Sending oxygen to our muscles, waking those up, getting the joints will be more limbered up with just a little bit of easy movement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Reducing inflammation, those inflammatory cells as well, especially within our muscles.
Yeah. And, it's shown too that especially if you tend to be more sedentary, like we all tend to be over the winter, that just even a little bit more movement, a little bit of light exercise goes really far. You get all of the benefits of exercise just from starting to move more, doing things like walking.
Absolutely. And when you're living with a chronic lung condition, we do want to optimize those things. We want to keep our body strong, our muscles strong, our heart and lungs strong. We want to reduce our risk for falls. We want to prevent chronic diseases. And so all of these things can be treated with aerobic exercise like walking. Yeah.
It's a move it or lose it situation.
Literally.
It really is. That's
Yeah.
where it comes from.
Yeah.
So let's find ways that we can walk. And we know that there are some barriers or obstacles that some of us need to overcome, especially if we have a more advanced chronic lung condition, in order to go outside and get walking. So there are alternatives to going outside and walking. But first, let's see if we can get you outside and walking if we can.
Yeah.
So one obstacle might be if you're using home oxygen. And so this is cumbersome. You've got to bring a tank or a portable concentrator with you. And so there are some ways that make that easier to carry. A backpack with 2 straps is a better idea, so that it's centered on your back. The weight is centered. If the weight is on your back, it's your abs that will work to carry that weight. Which is also a good thing.
Yeah.
Better than carrying it on the front.
Yeah.
So you can get backpacks for those with some ventilation so that it can have air intake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next thing, so if you happen to walk with an assistive device like a walker, you get a basket to put your tank in there as well, or a stroller, something that you can push alongside you to ease walking around with a tank, for example.
Yep. Yeah, there's a over-the-shoulder pack too. Do keep in mind the backpack thing, though. It's better than pulling one-sided.
Yeah.
So there are ways to take oxygen with you. Some people can be uncomfortable or worried that it could run out or malfunction. So we do recommend going with a friend. Bring a friend along.
Yeah.
Yeah, going for a walk with a friend is great. Someone you get along with.
You just chat, helps the time go by. You don't even realize it. They're there for support, perhaps a little confidence. You keep each other motivated and accountable.
Yes, you can plan these walking dates. And you know, how many times do we plan to see somebody? It's like, oh, I'll come over to your place, or we'll go get coffee or something. Plan for a walk. Meet somewhere by nature with a nice walking path, maybe away from traffic. That might be a pleasant place to walk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you're looking for a like-minded group in that way, they're out there. So there are mall walking groups even. So look in your local community, maybe even at your community center, and see what's available.
Yeah, and malls these days are huge. You've got a lot of walking area you can use in a mall. Yeah. There's electricity if you needed to recharge your concentrator. Yeah. There's people around, and the air is filtered in there. So
absolutely.
Yeah, if being outside triggers you, a mall can be
especially as we're heading into the summer, and maybe some maybe a little uncertain for some of us who live in forest fire areas where there can be a lot of smoke. So establishing that habit walking in a mall, can get you covered for a lot of the summer.
Yeah, and maybe you mix it up. Maybe you do some walking on your own or with a friend, and then maybe once a week meet this mall walking group that can sort of make sure you keep up your walking.
Yeah. So what are some other barriers to walking? So we want to make sure, of course, that you have some good walking shoes, you're feeling nice and supported, dress for the weather so you're comfortable.
Sunscreen,
sunglasses, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Now, we know some of you are living in urban areas, and we know that can be really triggering for some of you with reactive airways in terms of exposure to air pollution and things like that. But do know that you don't have to walk in your area. You can use transportation, a car, a friend to drive you out into nature, to drive you to a place where it feels like the air is clean and you're comfortable walking there.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a little destination, a little day vacation. Feels like you're getting out of the city. So yeah, if you have that option, I say do it. Yeah. Might not work for you as a daily thing, but certainly every couple of weeks, just sort of set this walking getaway.
Yeah.
You'll be glad you did. Pack a lunch.
And anything that you're starting new, we're going to be kind to ourselves. So it's not like you have to plan this big, huge event of walking.
Shouldn't be a burden.
Shouldn't be a burden. Start slow.
Start slow and start small. So if walking is a big challenge, right? So maybe, walking up the block and back might even be a challenge for some people. And we do understand that. And there are ways to build up your walking endurance. So we suggest starting indoors. Start in your own home. Yeah. You can start with a chair handy. Put one hand on the chair to help you be stable. And just walking on the spot or doing some kind of toe tapping or heel taps. Yeah. Just moving on the spot for a bit. One suggestion is to put some music on and use the music as your timer. So maybe you're just going to walk or move or dance just for one song. And then later on, as you get a little more fit and a little more comfortable with this, you can go for 2 or 3 songs. But it's important to pace yourself.
Absolutely.
So if walking makes you short of breath, you're probably going to need to walk slower.
And so we have some handy dandy videos that you can check out. Our Get Moving series education videos. We have a walk to wellness. We have a pursed lip breathing, shortness of breath, SOS. And all of these videos help guide you with your breath in terms of movement, like walking.
Yeah, so you might need a bunch of these tips. Have a look at those videos before you set out if you're nervous about it.
Yeah.
And do go with a friend if going out on your own does make you nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plan to take breaks, plan to go at a leisurely pace, and plan to enjoy it.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're feeling a little joy, perhaps thinking about getting into fitness and thinking about the joys of walking. We hope we've given you some tips to get you started, and for those that are already walkers, maybe some tips to up your game.
Walking challenge. So this May, we hope that you do get out there and
live your best long life.